In the previous video, I explained what maintenance calories were. I explained how maintenance calories were made of three main components. Then I showed how the three main components can add up to an example person's 2,300 daily calories. But why use examples? To get an estimate of your own maintenance calories, you can use an online TDEE or Total Daily Energy Expenditure Calculator. The TDEE calculators that are considered the most accurate are those that use the Milford-St. Jeor equation. You will need to first find your BMR and then multiply it by an activity factor to determine your TDEE or your maintenance calories. Now, you must keep in mind that TDEE calculators can only provide estimates of your maintenance calories. A calculator can't account for all the biological differences between people. So, although an estimate is not ideal, it's still a great starting baseline. It's pretty much all we have. The first step to determine your maintenance calories is to determine your BMR. As a reminder, your BMR uses the calories that your body needs to function and maintain your weight if all you did was rest in the bed all day. Some online TDEE calculators don't show the distinction between the two steps that's needed to determine your TDEE or maintenance calories, so I like starting with my TDEE calculator. To get started, you can use the TDEE calculator at buildmusclegetlean.com/TDEE-calculator. The calculator will ask you for your age, gender, height, and weight. If you input this information into the calculator, it'll automatically output a number for your BMR. It shows you the results in a form called Your Results, which is located below the calculator inputs. If, for example, you were a 42-year-old male whose height was 5 feet 11 inches or 180 centimeters, and your weight was 200 pounds or 90.7 kilograms, then the calculator outputs a BMR of 1,829 calories per day. Now, unless you lie in bed all day, then the next step is to estimate the number of calories needed for your physical activity. This is where the thermic effect of physical activity comes into play. Step 2, determine your activity factor. Now, to determine the effect of your physical activity, activity factors were created to estimate energy usages. These activity factors are 1.2, 1.375, 1.465, 1.55, 1.725, and 1.9, which depend on how active you are. They are classified by the terms sedentary, lightly active, moderately active, active, very active, or extra active, respectively. Sedentary assumes that you spend most of your day sitting and do little to no exercise. Lightly active assumes that you exercise 1 to 3 times per week. Moderately active assumes that you exercise 4 to 5 times per week. Active assumes that you exercise daily or perform at least 3 to 4 intense exercise sessions per week. And extra active assumes that you perform daily intense exercise sessions or have a very active and physically demanding day job. Unfortunately, there is no strict universal definition for exercise, exercise intensely, or exercise very intensely. Usually, exercise is simply defined as 15 to 30 minutes of elevated heart rate activity. Intense exercise is defined as 45 to 120 minutes of elevated heart rate activity, and very intense exercise is defined as 2 or more hours of elevated heart rate activity. Step 3, multiply your BMR by your activity factor. Now finally, to get your estimated maintenance calories, you must multiply your BMR by one of the activity factors. Continuing with our example, when you choose the sedentary activity factor, your BMR is multiplied by 1.2. Then the calculator automatically performs this calculation and shows your maintenance calories as 2,195. To get your weekly need, if that's something you want to do, then you will multiply this number by 7, and this will give you 15,365 calories. But If you have an intense daily exercise routine or are very active during your day, you would select the activity factor of 1.9. In this case, the calculator calculates a total daily need of 3,476 calories. If you multiply this number by 7, you will get a weekly need of 24,332 calories. Because these calculators only provide estimates, your true daily calorie needs will be somewhere within the range that's given by the calculator. In general, however, this is how you find your maintenance calories, which represents what you must balance in the energy balance equation. So, what are the practical implications? Account for activity levels. Physical activity significantly impacts your total caloric needs. By categorizing your activity, you can estimate how many calories you need to maintain your existing body weight, depending on how active you are. Use online calculators for estimates. While you can estimate your maintenance calories with tools like TDEE calculators, these provide a rough starting point and can't account for individual biological differences. Adjust as needed. Since the estimates are not perfect, you should monitor your weight and adjust your calorie intake if you are not maintaining your desired weight over time.